Today, Marvel is the dominant force when it comes to the box office, way ahead of everyone else, and as new characters, superheroes, stars filling in the roles in their movies, they just keep going, distancing themselves from everyone else. And with that, there are also many things happening behind the scenes. And for all the success and perfect planning, the MCU has just as many secrets the studio tried to hide from the fans and not let them think about them too much. So we did some digging, and we were able to find a few secrets Marvel tried to hide from you. Enjoy.
Agent Romanoff, you missed me?
Number 10, casting Iron Man. Long before becoming the face of Marvel's cinematic universe, Robert Downey Jr., however, was not the first choice for the role. At first, the studio wasn't convinced about Robert, thinking he couldn't pull it off, and were skeptical about giving him the role, in that he is not the man for it. Other actors coming to mind was Tom Cruise, who was the choice for many, but director Jon Favreau knew Downey from before, and he was convinced enough that he was the perfect person to play the role, to pull off the brilliant man who realizes he's been wasting his life, considering that the same thing happened to Robert in his real life. He had some ups and downs, and came to the same conclusion as Tony Stark, and boy did he deliver, and the faith of John he put was in the right place, as today, Iron Man, Downey represents the face of Marvel on the big screen.
What just happened? Please tell me nobody kissed me. You ever tried shawarma? There's a shawarma joint about 2 blocks from here. I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
Number 9, Robert Banner. Many wanted to hear more about Hulk's origin story, a little deeper dive into his past and how he became what he is today. However, the pitch from Edward Norton, who rewrote the script, wasn't enough, and Marvel said that this tighter action that we have today is a better move on the character.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Actually interesting secret is that while he introduced himself as Bruce, the Hulk's alter ego is actually Dr. Robert Bruce Banner. So why does he go by his middle name? Well, the main reason for this is that the man, Stan Lee, forgot which one to use, to be honest with you. The 3 main parts of his name was his cover story, but Stan later admitted that he went for a few months referring to Banner as Bob before realizing his mistake, so he decided to stick with the middle name at the end, and one that was sounding the best for him. Thus today, we have the one and only Dr. Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Number 8, casting cap. Next on the list, we have the casting of Captain America, a rough start that not anyone was expecting, but seeing how it is today, we can safely say they managed to put all the dice in the right place. These days, every young actor wants to play a superhero and hit a blockbuster level. When Marvel sought out to find their perfect man for the job, Chris Evans was the first choice, but from his point of view, he had some terrible memories from his previous contract with Marvel, and that was the movie Fantastic Four. When he was offered the role, he refused not once, not twice, but 3 times. However, the contract was accepted by Chris when his initial contract dropped from 9 movies to 6, and I think we can safely say that we're glad he did accept the contract, as he is one of the most admirable characters on the screen for many of us.
That is America's ass.
Number 7, Laura Haddock. When it comes to Marvel, one of their most well-represented rules in their company is that no person can play 2 different characters in the MCU, which is very understandable. Firstly, not wanting some negative comments about the characters they love, and secondly, not wanting to let the audience get confused when it comes to the story plot. Well, they made a mistake that they tried to hide, and they still do. Laura Haddock is the person that has 2 roles in 2 different movies in the MCU. She appeared first in Captain America looking for an autograph, and again as Peter Quill's dying mother. After the secret was revealed and fuss broke out at Marvel, they denied that there was any connection between the roles, making her casting even harder, nay, improbable to explain. Number 6, casting the God of Thunder. Thor had to be one of the riskiest Avengers to cast, and when the question popped up on who should reprise the role as the God of Thunder, there were 3 options: Tom Hiddleston, Chris Hemsworth, and his brother Liam. When Tom got the part of Loki, which it seems like it was made for him, portraying the role to a perfection, the role of Thor went to Chris. One of the secrets is that even before trying to find the role of Thor, they already had Chris in mind, and almost 90% sure that he is already Thor, as he was told that he got the role long before the movie even started with the formation of the cast, during his role in the movie called Cabin in the Woods, which is also a masterpiece from Joss Whedon. Number 5, Sebastian the Sidekick. Seeing how the last Avengers movie played out, and knowing that the comics Captain America has also passed his shield to a few successors, at first he might have came to a surprise, but it is not a surprise that Marvel films have established a few candidates as Captain's best friends in the likes of Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes. The secret is that Sebastian Stan was in the running for the role of the Captain America just before Chris decided to take the part. After refusing a few times, and in aftermath, to say lightly, Sebastian got to be his sidekick. Number 4, Guardians on a budget. The Guardians of the Galaxy, the misfits that were close to our hearts, weren't shown much love from the showrunners and Marvel as a whole, as they were on a budget, not knowing if it was going to be any good, and today it is one of the biggest hits out there from the MCU. One of the scenes in the prison was set that they all agreed that the melted steel would be recycled and sold after the shot to regain some money back, and be sold for scrap. However, seeing how things went with the first movie, we doubt that they had any problems like this for the second one, or even if they have one for the third installment coming in the future. Number 3, Jarvis. Jarvis is one character, or should we say AI, that has been there since the beginning of the MCU. Tony Stark's trustworthy AI that was always there for him to provide his knowledge and helping hand whenever he could. However, after years of playing the voice of the AI, the fans finally got to see Paul Bettany on screen as the new Avenger under the same name of Vision. Not only for the fans, but this first appearance was also a first for his co-stars too. The actor admitted that he had never worked with Robert Downey Jr. before that movie. Crazy, right? Well, that's because he was always recording the lines for Jarvis only after the filming was finished. His job was to record the lines and incorporate them in the narrative, a secret that Marvel hid for a long time, but not anymore. Yeah, it sounds rough, but the suspension was always rising for the first appearance of Vision, together with the Infinity Stone on his forehead, the Mind Stone. Number 2, post-credit secrets. One of the most famous parts of their movies, and the most unique ones at that too, is in Marvel's post-credit scenes, always daunting and revealing of what is coming next. A little bit of a sneak peek and hundreds of possible theories made by the fans from a footage that lasts just seconds. They are not always easy, and they are mostly done after the shooting is finished. For Thor 2, Marvel had a hard time with the post-credit scene, as Natalie Portman wasn't even available for the scene, and her post-credit scene kiss as Dr. Jane Foster. Being the same size of Chris Hemsworth's wife, actress Ella Pataki threw on a wig and stepped in the spotlight to take her place, and finished what she started, so that there will be no exceptions when it comes to these moments that picture the MCU and who they are. A secret kept for a long time, but not for long. Number 1, reusing locations. As with many movies around the world, one of the common things they do is reusing the locations, whether it is that they are easier to find when you have already been there, or the accessibility we'll never know. In this group of movies are always the MCU movies from Marvel. Strangely enough, the MCU crosses time and space, but they can't manage the actual locations where the movies are filmed. This is one of the more well-hidden secrets of the Marvel that only the real fans, if they look closely and receive some hints from the outside, can they notice the same setting in 2 or more different movies. Next time, watch closely, and you can actually notice that centuries-old village in Thor's prologue is the same one Red Skull attacks Captain America, and also the secret bunker in which Bucky is brainwashed in, the Winter Soldier, is the same bank is blown out of in the Avengers. That is all for today. Hope you liked the video, and thank you for staying until the end. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos like this in the future.